If you are a gamer, then you probably have a backlog of unfinished or impulse bought games that are collecting metaphorical dust in your Steam library. I too have this problem. A slew of unfinished games that weighed heavily on my conscience. I noticed that I have a hard time finishing games that are time sinks. I made it my goal to finish or play the untouched games in my library this year. This is my experience with backlogged games. Some astute viewers may have noticed I have a preference for creature collectors and short and sweet games. Depending on how many games I finish by December, this video may be in several parts. I'm going to review each game alphabetically and rate them based on price, length, story, gameplay, aesthetic, and overall enjoyment, or what I recommend. Bonus points if you can pet the creature. Be warned that there may be some story spoilers. I'm going to do my best to avoid any spoilers. However, a lot of these games are games that have been out for at least a year. If there are any spoilers, I'll make sure to add a spoiler marker so you can skip. Hopefully this video will be a great incentive to try any of these games you have on your playlist. Side note, most of these games I bought when they were on sale. Seeing the base price for some of these games blew my mind. And none of these games were gifted from the developers. Let's dive in to Abzu for our first one. Abzu is a short game. It took me about an hour and a half to finish. You're a little dude who's restoring some aquatic habitats and unlocking the secrets of an ancient society and learning of their downfall. All of this takes place underwater. The graphics are beautiful and the music is calm and relaxing. If you're a fan of ocean life, then you'll be excited to see all the unique species they have in their game. The story is only shown through your silent discovery. I don't remember there being any dialogue or lore to read. This can make missing the story pretty easily. I used a controller and found the inverted controls annoying to navigate. This improved when I changed it in the settings. You can pet one of the aquatic creatures in the game, but I won't say which one to avoid spoilers. You can also ride many different aquatic life through your adventure. Overall, I found this game to be relaxing and a low-effort commitment to play. I bought this game a while ago at an extreme discount. I would not recommend buying it at base price for $19.99. The price is a little too steep for such a short game. However, if you have a free evening and it's on sale, it's a great way to relax and enjoy some beautiful oceanic scenery. Arcade Paradise is the next game. I really enjoyed Arcade Paradise. You are a young college dropout. Your father's overseas in Europe, and he is disappointed at you. He gives you the ultimatum of proving yourself and running his old laundromat, or to work at the meat packaging plant in town. However, you discover that there's some old arcade cabinets in the back of the laundromat that bring in more money than the laundry machines themselves. You slowly turn the laundromat into an arcade underneath your father's nose. This game is a business simulation game. You keep the place clean, you keep the machines running. However, there's more to it. Each arcade cabinet is a game you can actually play, and some are based off of famous arcade games such as Pac-Man. The more you play them, and the more personal goals you complete for each game, the more popular the cabinet becomes, making it rake in more money. There is incentive to play each game that comes in, and soon you spend your whole business day playing games. The aesthetic is late 70s, and it is charming. You cannot talk to any of the NPCs who visit your arcade. Instead, they distort and disappear as you approach them, giving a whole dreamlike vibe to the experience. This did not bother me since I'm very introverted and I go to games to get away from people. The story, however, hits hard if you have strained relationships with your parents. I truly feel for the main character. I considered my playthrough to be done when I completely converted the laundromat and heard my dad say he was proud of me. But don't worry, you can keep playing the game, and there's DLC for additional arcade cabinets. This game took me about 25 hours to play, and the game loop is addictive. You will eventually create your own routine of cleaning the place, complete your daily objectives, collect money, buy more stuff, and repeat. The only annoyance that I had that sometimes it was hard to focus and pick up pieces of trash, and how some of the how to play guides were not super helpful for some of the arcade cabinets. There is a dog that you can pet in one of the arcade cabinet games. I recommend this game when you're not sure what you should play. since there are a lot of options within the game. The base price is $19.99, but I have seen it on sale a few times. I think it is worth to buy at the base price or wait for a sale. The next game on our list that I had finished is Bloomtown, a different story. Bloomtown is about siblings who visit their grandpa over the summer. They discover dark secrets of the townsfolk and the literal demons that inhabit their hearts. The main hero makes a pact with the devil, so she and her friends can fight off these demons by taming and using demons of their own during the nighttime. By daytime, she raises her skills and social ranks with her friends for better fighting prowess. Can she drive out all of the demons before summer is over? Or will the devil be able to steal her soul? Bloomtown is very much like the Persona series. It has great art direction, cool demons to subjugate, and bopping music. However, I feel like Bloomtown has too many things it wants to do. There's gardening, fishing, cooking, side quests, social ranks, dungeon crawling, monster taming, and fusing. Stat raising events, and D&D-like stat rolls to time manage on top of the main story. I feel like the main story gets a little bit lost in the sauce. Overall, it was a good time, and there is a dog character you can pet and talk to. However, for the scope of everything in the game, I feel like I beat it way too soon, and to avoid spoilers, the final boss was not difficult at all. I do like that you could solve some major fights without any violence, and that there's multiple endings to increase gameplay replayability. But it only took me about 14 hours to beat on my first time. I would expect a longer game. I didn't even rush. I was actually over-leveled for a majority of the game because it took me a while to figure out how to capture demons. I wish that aspect was a little more clear. I was more than halfway until I really figured out, and I feel like the game didn't explain it very well. The gameplay loop is that you discover a disturbing scene or truth about someone in town, and then you notice that they are corrupted by a demon. At night, you travel into an alternative dimension where you have to make your way in a dungeon that represents the corruption of the final boss. Battles are turn-based and you can use melee weapons, ranged weapons, or magic. The gameplay was really enjoyable. The story was okay. It was a coming-of-age story and basically how you can come into people's lives and change them for the better, and each character had their own character arc. Another gripe I have is that sometimes the dialogue felt a little more advanced for these children, who I had estimated between 9 at the youngest for some of the children in the group, and then maybe 13 at the oldest for the other children. Sometimes when reading their lines, it would take me out of the immersion. My favorite story was about the corgi in the game and his sad backstories. But no spoilers there. The art and the music in the game are top-notch. You can definitely tell the Persona inspiration. Quite a few bops in there. The art direction is very smooth, polished, and well-detailed pixel art. The town is set in the 1960s. Overall, I would recommend this game at sales price. At base price, it was a little too steep at $24.99. However, it has sales very often. I would not invest to replay this game to see the different endings. Here is my overall review. The next game made me a little mad. This game was Copycat. I hated this game. Not because of the gameplay or the mechanics, but because of the story it presents. In the beginning, it starts off with an old lady rescuing a cat from the shelter. Seems harmless, no? Wrong. She adopts a cat that looks the exact same as her other cat she lost just a little while ago. She names it the same exact thing and everything. This old lady is also shown to have some serious medical issues and needs care for herself, which she refuses. Eventually, she finds her other cat and decides she can't take care of 2 cats. So instead of returning you to the shelter, the responsible thing, she abandons you in the middle of nowhere, leaving you to fend for yourself. You as a cat struggle to get back to her for some reason, where you find her living in an assisted living facility and both cats live together with her happily ever after. I think this game has a bad message. The owner is not suitable to take care of animals. She should not be letting her cats outside. Super harmful to the environment and to the health of the cat. In my day job, I see many a cat struck by a car, deceased due to poisoning, full of fleas and parasites, bite wound abscesses. The list goes on. If you truly care for your cat, please keep it inside. Don't let it be fodder for the coyotes or to pick up diseases from other cats such as FIV or feline leukemia. The owner of this game should have returned the cat to a shelter or another rescue if they wanted to give the cat the best chance of having a new loving home and living a good life. I can continue to rant about this, but I think we should move on to the rating before I start to get sad. The gameplay is basically a simulation of you being a cat. You jump, you climb, you knock over stuff, basic cat things. This game is more of a narrative you experience. It took me about 2.5 hours to beat. The graphics are about on par with the PS2 era, and the models have some jank to them. The aesthetic isn't very good due to this jankiness. Sometimes they're clipping. The people models kind of scare me. The only part of this game I enjoyed was making a mess as a cat. There were no creatures to pet, but you are the creature being pet, so I'll give half a point for that. The base price is $15.99, which I feel like is too much for the quality and length of the game. I remember buying this game at a serious discount. I do not recommend buying this game if you love animals. Creatures of Ava. Creatures of Ava start out like one of my dream games. You are a space scientist and you're trying to preserve the creatures of a dying planet by researching them, befriending them, and sending them back to your space ark. You can pet all of the creatures on Ava. However, to avoid spoilers, the ending was shocking. You basically come to the conclusion that there's no point in trying to save something that doesn't need saving. The ending will leave you feeling many things, such as all 7 stages of grief. The gameplay was fun, but a little repetitive. Each biome had several unique creatures that you had to round up a certain amount of into your teleporter to send them back to your spaceship. You did this through the power of song. Each creature had a unique song that they would sing to you, and you had to play it back to them on a special flute. I kind of felt like Pied Piper. There are also puzzles in ruins that you need to solve and unlock further abilities to help cure sick creatures. They are NPCs that you can befriend and do side quests for. I found the dialogue clever and funny. This game took me about 16 hours to beat, which I felt like was an appropriate amount of time to retain my attention, but not feel like a chore to play. The graphics were fine, there was a clear art direction, all the creatures were well designed. The world was colorful, which made it all the more noticeable when the color would fade due to the planet's sickness as it progressed. There were a couple of moments where creatures that I was trying to interact with were clipping through the walls and would get stuck, but this did not ruin my overall enjoyment. Overall, the ending of this one really sticks with me, and I'll remember it probably forever. I highly recommend playing this game. The base price was $24.99, and for the level of quality you get, I think is fair. I would recommend this game on sale or at full price. This is my review for Ava. To avoid this video for going on too long, I'm going to go ahead and break it up into multiple parts. From this selection, I would highly recommend Creatures of Ava and Arcade Paradise. I feel like these were hidden gems that I had never heard of, and they are well worth a shot. Comment below if you agree or disagree with my review. Do you have any games that you would recommend I play? If you want to see more content like this, be sure to like and subscribe. We also have a Discord where you can vote on what games you would like to see us stream or finish next, and a TikTok channel where you can see what we're up to on a daily basis. I also post our super cute pets there quite often. Links to all these platforms will be posted in the description below. See you next time!